Hello and welcome to this edition of Crossover. I'm Chi Haojun with David and Charlotte. Well, Beijing this summer is extremely hot.
Yeah, yes.
You noticed.
Well, yeah, luckily I've noticed. But, you know, whatever year that can be, there is always a period, or what we call the Sanfutian, or the 3 10-day period of the hottest season, the hottest weather in China, not only in Beijing. And for this year, the 3 10 days, it all started from the 19th of July, so each period will last for like 10 days.
10 days. And this is according, these 30 days effectively are calculated according to the Chinese
calendar.
lunar calendar.
Yeah. What we're talking about is if you go to a Chinese hospital, and you'll see lots of people, young and old, men, women, will come to the hospital to receive a special treatment. As we can see in these pictures.
What looks like the Band-Aids or the
it's a Band-Aid with
bandages.
some Chinese medicine in it. It's called the Sanfutie. Basically what they do is they have this medicine paste or a medicine plaster, as you said. Well, these maybe are
more
the ones in
modern
different
plasters.
forms.
These look like iPod accessories or
I know,
something.
right? Some kind of DVD
Yeah, right.
or CD-ROM.
And these we have those in the West too, but usually it's for like joint pain, a pain medication. They stick these
true.
things and they
Patches
have
and
patches.
stuff.
I guess it's nicotine, right? It puts
I think
nicotine
so.
into your bloodstream so you can help you quit smoking.
But
Yep.
I guess the medicine is different. I mean, for
of course,
this
yeah.
one, for Sanfutie, the Sanfu paste, they have to be done for those 30 days. I mean, during that 30 days. And, well, according to the Chinese medicine theory, it works most effectively if you do that. So basically, the theory is, cure the winter illness in summer.
Prevention.
Yeah, it works more effectively.
And that fits in with sort of the main concept of Chinese medicine, which is harmony of the body, sort of organs and internal system and everything.
There's
Right.
always
Balance.
the theory of balance and
And
inside
especially
and outside.
heat and cold regulation, heat and cold balance.
How would you explain these ideas to our viewers, in other countries?
Well, I mean, I think
ahead.
when you get
That's the first test.
you ask
today.
me.
Go ahead.
Heat and cold are not only in Chinese medicine the sort of literal heat and cold, but I think there's some sort of an abstract heat
Yeah.
and cold too. That there's a hot qi and the cold qi, and I think that these are
Okay,
maybe
what
not
is
measurable
qi,
temperature.
David?
Qi, I'll take a crack
Okay.
at.
All
right.
I was actually looking at various information sort of sources this morning in preparation for this show to be as clear as possible in our explanations of these things. Qi, well, we talk about it a lot, right? You have Tai Chi and
Right.
Qigong
Tai
and all
Chi
that
is different.
stuff.
Tai Chi, that's
That's
a
Tai
different
Chi,
word.
But
but
it
Qigong is the same.
Right.
Qigong,
Tai Chi
But
is
the
about
qi for
Qi,
for a lot
for
of
internal Qi.
Western people's ears is the qi.
Yeah,
You think
right.
of it as all being related.
Right.
But it's basically like a vital energy in your body, and it's an integral part of Chinese medicinal theory. That the harmony of this qi, if you can break the qi down into yin and yang, and the balance and harmony of these things is the definition of a healthy body and a healthy person, including mental health, not just physical health.
Right.
So it's quite a holistic view
Right.
on medicine and health and well-being and
Very good.
there we go.
Pretty good.
Very good. I mean, neither of us is a doctor, not expert in Chinese medicine, but what we can talk about is really based on our personal experiences.
Right, qi. It's a life force. It's usually found in coffee. You drink it, and the qi goes directly into you. And
Yeah, good point. Yeah, nice try though. But I've got the correct answers. So I mean, the right reasonings behind this tea or Chinese medicine paste treatment. Say Sanfutie application on acupoints can stimulate the acupuncture points and to regulate blood and qi. If it is relating to your qi theory, adjust yin and yang and make up for the necessary body requirement. And those doggy days, or the 30 days of the hot weather, it's the hottest period, and yang qi reaches the top of the year. And coupled with the most robust human yang qi, the use of topical drugs by infiltrating through the meridian points is considered that it may uphold to achieve the best results.
So is the idea that you have an excess of this yang qi during the summer, so the medicine is to suppress it? Is that the idea?
No, I guess when the yang qi reaches the top, and it is most effective if you use the Chinese medicine, it absorbs all these effects of the medicine most effectively.
Okay.
Right. So having yang qi be at its peak it's basically you're set up for a prime absorption of this medicine that will then help you upon winter's arrival.
Okay, let's just leave the theories to the doctors, to the experts, all right? And talking about this Sanfu tea or the medicine paste, we have another point we need to take care of. It's, the food restraints. When you have this, the paste, a certain food you're not supposed to eat.
Right, and that just incidentally ties into, again, the concept of balance. And some foods will have hot properties, and some foods have cold properties. And by this, we don't mean, actual heat or actual, cold, but in a way, it is kind of the same.
Tell us what kind of foods are supposed to be the warm or
I was actually we were just talking about this. It's really interesting. You know how we'll talk about warm colors and cool colors.
Yeah.
Well, apparently vegetables, warm colored vegetables or fruits, even for that matter, like tomatoes, oranges, maybe carrots. Warm colored have hot properties or more warm properties, and cool colored fruits and vegetables like eggplant, cucumber, stuff like that is more cooling.
Yeah, like there's this thing called kugua, which is bitter melon, which is green, and they always say that this is great for defeating or suppressing the heat.
I'm just wondering what about watermelon? I mean, it's
cooling.
red inside.
Cooling. It's green on the outside, though.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. It's very cooling. I know this. But anyway, what I was going to say is what happens if you have an excess of cold or an excess of hot in your body is you might have actual symptoms. You might, if you have too much heat, you might get mouth sores. Your skin might be chronically dry. So that's an effect of having too much heat. So when we're talking about hot and cold and balancing the two, it really is for your health.
Right.
David, I think you're right, because you said, when you don't feel comfortable, you can always find the reason. Either you're taking certain food too much or you're doing...
I don't know that much about the theory, and I don't even know how much scientific validity there is to it, but it seems like the notion, we were just talking about that the Chinese traditional medicine doesn't make a big separation between medicine and food. In other words, it all has to do with what you put in your body, and it has to do with if you're getting too much of one kind of thing or not enough of another kind. And whenever I feel kind of out of sorts or sick or awful, it's usually because of an excess of something. I'm eating too much of this or not drinking enough water or something like that. So I think it makes sense. Like a Chinese doctor will very often tell you, I'm feeling sick. Rather than just prescribe medicine, they'll say stay away from cold things or eat more fruit or don't eat meat, something like that. And so the whole thing is it's a holistic notion of balance that has to do with all of the body and also everything that you take into the body. That makes sense.
And a lot of it's about prevention. Whereas a lot of Western medicine, you take Western medicine to treat your symptoms. Like you have a headache, you take an aspirin. Your stomach's upset, you take a whatever, Pepto-Bismol or something. Whereas Chinese medicine is, why is your head hurting? Why is your stomach upset? Let's find out why and fix that. So the headache will go away, the stomach will go, the upset stomach will go away.
Medicine is going further back to the very roots
of the
cause.
Yes.
And because Chinese doctors will always tell you, say you don't eat this, don't eat that. It's not good to your health. And we have this food restraints, and we have a little chart, a little quiz for you too. So you're going to make a
crossover diagnosis.
A crossover. And when you don't feel comfortable, if you have a cough or a fever, certain foods you're not supposed to take. When we come back after a short break, a little test for the two guests. Welcome back to Crossover Test Time. test time, and actually, it's not only for you two.
I was going to
it's,
say, you've got 3 clipboards
I know,
there.
I know. I didn't realize I've got one myself.
Ah, okay.
So we have all these problems
So we're supposed to figure out which of these things will help it or which things to avoid.
to avoid. Either
Ah,
cut out alcohol or, either avoid salted fish or leaves, and it's all related to certain illness.
Uh-huh. And just so everyone knows, we don't know the answers to this. We did not see
We
the
don't, no,
answers
no.
to this before the show.
I was not even given the correct answers.
Ooh, this is a little hard.
Okay.
Done. Time is up.
Oh, wait. Okay, wait.
Okay, I feel like I'm in high school again. I'm just guessing about the answers here.
That's-
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just the same.
Okay.
I guess it looks nice to have all these crossed arrows
It's
and
crossover.
Well, I don't know. This is hard.
What have you got?
Well, first of all, let me say that my chart is prettier than the two of you.
Yeah, yours
because I
is
have
way prettier.
I have a nice arrow here, so I win. Yes?
Okay, that's all it's about. But we've got the right answers over there.
All right.
Let's
Cough.
see.
Cough, no.
Oh, I got one of them right.
Okay, I
one of
got
them right.
cough wrong.
Itchy.
Itchy skin. I got
Skin
itchy
is-
skin right. Okay, I got 3.
No, I'm gonna hide my
Wait, I think I got them.
You got them all?
I think I got
All of them?
No.
Check it, Lauscher. Check it, teacher. I think I got them all.
Yeah, you did. Good job.
But you know how I did it? Let me
Yeah.
let me explain. I started with alcohol because I think that you can get anything with alcohol, insomnia.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know that alcohol disrupts your sleep cycle.
Yes.
And then here headache,
I
and
thought that helps sleeping.
no, it helps you go to sleep.
It helps you fall
Okay.
asleep.
But it helps you fall asleep, but then
Right.
it disrupts your sleep cycle. And then the only other thing that I knew was that asthma, that eggs, fish, and fish products are like associated with allergies and things like that. So I started from there, and that gave me like a hint. But I was
Very
using
good.
Western medicine theory,
there is
not
a little-
Chinese medicine theory.
Magic match inside these two different theories. Yeah?
Yeah, I think there's something
some
in
overlap.
common there.
Yeah,
I think
of
there's something
course.
in common.
Wow. You're an expert now.
Dr.
Not
Moser,
bad.
Dr.
All right.
David.
For this
Today-
episode, you are the expert.
I'm the expert. Yes.
Dr. David.
But I'm a Chinese, but sadly I don't know too much about Chinese medicine. But
Drink more alcohol.
to cure my sleeping problem.
No, it'll make you more fun.
Look, I'm sweating now. Anyway, I've got the right answers for the next question.
Okay.
Because
All right.
according to the Chinese medicine, 2 certain foods are not supposed to be taken at the same time, not within 2 hours at the same time.
I know persimmons. You have to be very careful with persimmons.
All right.
Yes.
And not take something at the same time.
Yes, I think persimmons and alcohol.
And
it's
alcohol.
potential to actually be deathly poisonous.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I think.
One story is about this. A girl in Taiwan, she died all of a sudden, suddenly without any hints. And the doctor said it's because she took 2 foods at the same
time.
and somehow there is the
Bad
chemical reaction
Right.
inside her body, and the result is poison.
Huh.
So she
Wow.
was poisoned by herself at the time. But what we've got over here is grape and hot water. If you have these 2 together,
It's bad.
it's bad.
Grape and hot water.
Yep.
So don't heat up grape juice.
Good point. Yeah. Could be different. Yeah. It's causing diarrhea. So hot grapes, not good.
Okay.
That's okay. I seldom eat hot grapes. So-
And onion and honey
Oh.
together.
that sounds
it's-
disgusting.
it's-
No wonder we've never discovered
Yeah, no
these.
one would put these 2 together, but it's supposed to be not good for your eyes.
Huh.
Anyway, yogurt and banana.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's bad.
Uh-oh, that's bad. I've eaten so much yogurt and banana.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
in cereal and
Why?
stuff.
Why
You
is
make-
that
It's
have-
not direct effect, but it might cause cancer somewhere in your body.
Oh,
Dang, dang, dang.
I don't like this show anymore.
you don't want to be a
No,
doctor
I want to go
anymore?
home.
You are the expert, David. Honey and rice.
Oh, rice pudding.
When do you eat honey and rice together?
Well, we have a rice pudding in the States.
Yeah, you could put honey in it.
You could put honey to
Yeah,
sweeten
but
it.
if you
maybe.
eat the two together, then you might feel some stomachache. Wow, this is strange. Milk and sugar. What it says, when it is hot, and it might have some, hot milk might have some chemical reaction with sugar, especially fruit sugar, and then
This
it's
is
supposed to
really
be
bad news.
to your-
Do you
to
know,
your body.
how many American kids just every day eat tons of cereal with milk and sugar in it?
Well, I
Yeah.
think also, just going back to the whole balance, being key. I think if you're not eating any of this in crazy excess, I would think it's not the end of the world.
Well, we were also talking about how in the West, people tend to treat things like upset stomach, or acid reflux as a kind of a disease or something that you just get like a cold and you can treat it. Whereas I think in China, the notion would be if you eat something and you get an upset stomach or you get acid stomach, they would say, well, don't eat that.
Right.
Or stop eating that so much. Instead of saying, well, how are we going to cure your acid reflux? We'll give you a pill. They'll just say, stop eating so much pizza, for God's sake. That's the obvious thing. And
It's
so
just
I think it makes
different
more
theories
sense.
behind the treatment. Yeah.
Yeah, right. We tend to have this, sickness treatment thing, and the Chinese have this
philosophy.
balance and making sure that you don't overdo it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what about Chinese medicine, the soup medicine?
The liquid medicine.
I
Liquid,
call
okay.
it Chinese medicinal brew.
I call it witch's brew.
Yes.
Liquid medicine.
brew.
Have you tried that?
Oh
Yes.
yes.
You have?
Oh yes.
It's,
Oh yes.
It's all bitter, But if you go to a Chinese hospital, you'll see how the medicine is being composed together
And
from
it is-
all these different drawers.
So cool.
It's like
to
the
watch.
magic drawers. Let's just take a
Yeah,
look at
indeed.
a picture.
It's
Full
so,
of herbs.
Yeah, it's so cool. Looks like something out of a Harry Potter movie or something.
Well, it's like brews, the kids will run around and pick up leaves and sticks and, make a little brew.
Yeah.
But this is really, there are hundreds of drawers
Yes.
sometimes of
Right.
filled with different herbs.
Just amazing how these doctors are familiar with what is contained in where. I mean, it's all these different places and take out something from somewhere.
Absolutely. And the way it works is you go see the doctor, and the doctor, from listening to your pulse and talking to you and everything, writes you out a prescription with specific herbs. And so then you take the prescription to the pharmacy counter, and then the pharmacists will go and they'll put pieces of paper out on their table, say 6, if you have 6 days of medicine, and then they'll compile it all with a little scale by weight, and it's really cool.
It's the process of selecting the right ones to make or making sure that you are getting the right medicine is very strict. I mean,
Right.
the hospital that I go to regularly, at least there are 4, say, checking points, just to make sure you've got the right prescription as the one given out by the doctor. They have to check, okay, you're getting this, and this is the right one. And I guess to make sure you are getting the right treatment, the right medicine is the
Right.
key.
Right.
Otherwise, this could be a huge problem.
That's one of the unique points of Chinese medicine is that instead of prescribing a set medicine for everyone, maybe different amounts but the same actual contents, Chinese medicine is usually a unique combination for that particular person on that particular day, according to their illness. It's a very different idea than Western medicine.
Yeah, I mean, these days we don't see that many foreigners taking Chinese, say, liquid medicine, but
Because it tastes terrible.
there's something like coffee, though.
That's true. A
Good
lot
point.
of people
Good
will
point.
compare it
well,
to
if,
coffee.
if they would let me put sugar and cream in it, I might drink it.
But the thing is, that is not medicine. We
I
say
know.
good medicine is always bitter.
Bitter,
What doesn't
yeah.
Mary Poppins say? Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
True, and when my
Well-
sister and I were kids and we would take our occasional Chinese brews, we would have a little gummy bear and we'd stick it in our mouth and drink the medicine, and then we'd have the gummy bear in our mouth so it would sort of take the...
Cheating.
Anyway, I mean, when we come back from a short break, we'll talk about the Chinese treatment, which is more acceptable to Westerners, to foreign friends. Welcome back to Crossover. Just now we were talking about liquid medicine. Not many foreigners take liquid medicine. Either it's too bitter or it looks strange. I mean, it's kind of a dark liquid. It's
Yeah, and you have to take it for a whole week or, you know,
It's long.
and you take two, actually.
Doses a day.
Yeah, you take 2 doses a day, and it is bitter. But if we are talking about acupuncture, that's the treatment that lots of foreigners would accept. And actually, in many countries, not only in China, in the States, in Europe, in many countries, there are doctors specialized in acupuncture treatment.
Yeah.
Right.
Acupuncture in Europe, as well as the States now, is very popular.
Yeah. And actually, my mother, who lives in the United States, has had acupuncture for her allergies. She says it works quite well, and for a long time, it wasn't covered by her insurance. But recently, maybe a few years now, it will cover acupuncture treatments.
Yes,
So,
a lot of insurance companies now will do that. Yeah.
Talking
It's
about
true.
acupuncture treatment and have a little,
the acupuncture
what
man.
idea. Acupuncture man, and just look at all these acupuncture points, acupressure points. It's full of the whole body.
so you have to memorize all those to be a Chinese doctor, right?
Yeah. And these are some more pictures about all these acupoints.
There are a lot.
And for different illness, different treatment, they have different combinations of these points.
Yep.
Like the other day, because I had my ankle injured during tennis, and it hurts a lot. I mean, we are talking about acupuncture around your feet.
Did it help?
Yeah. Oh, it helps a lot.
It did?
Yeah, it
Oh,
works.
well, there you
It
go.
works.
At least it took his mind off the pain that he got from tennis
I was
and
gonna
onto a
say,
new kind of
maybe
pain.
it's like no pain, no gain.
Yeah, maybe.
And the ones that you could actually, touch with your fingers, that you can actually,
Yeah.
you can find them.
Yeah, that's
because,
right.
And there's one right here actually that's not
Yes,
hard to find.
that's right.
That if you press on it, it
hurts,
sore.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really sore and almost, it hurts.
You know, acupuncture therapists in these different countries, you don't know the numbers. In France, there are over 7,000. In Germany, over 50,000.
Wow.
In Holland, the Netherlands, 4,000. And in Los Angeles only, Chinese clinics, the registered ones, nearly 2,000. In
Wow.
Los Angeles
Alone.
only.
Not surprising. There's so many Chinese people there.
So it's more people accepting Chinese treatment, especially acupuncture.
I think so, and also I think you've also seen in the past, I don't know, maybe decade or so, a trend towards alternative medicine, for lack of a
Right.
better way to put it. So
Right.
Chinese medicine, homeopathy, which is theoretically different from Chinese medicine, but it also is a kind of a balance, system, and massage, various medicinal massage and things like that. So those numbers really aren't surprising to me.
I mean, we don't really know how it works with all these acupuncture points, but for everyone, for lots of Chinese, we do know some points, especially this one, the one over here. It's called Renzhong. Literally, it means the people's center. So if you are in coma or if you are unconscious and people would just press you on this point.
Interesting.
You know, and then for a certain time and keep pressing it, and then it works and you come back to consciousness.
Kind of like the reboot button.
What is
The
it?
human reboot button.
Well, it sounds like that.
It will
yeah.
reboot you.
I notice also, like when you go get a foot massage, like or just your feet in general, this is also points to the fact that they think the body is a connected whole. That sometimes they'll massage or do acupuncture on your feet to correct problems with your kidney or your spleen or some internal organ.
That's because
So it's all connected.
Yeah. They
right.
say that your entire body is represented on the bottom of your foot.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
And over here,
This one's the sore one.
Yeah, it's called Zhu Sanli, and if you just keep pressing this acupoint, should be very good for your health.
Yeah, it's a sore one.
And this is another one, very interesting. And they say if you put a cigarette near here and if you feel the heat, that means your health is in good condition. If you don't feel the heat, that means you might have some problem inside.
But you're not sticking it on your skin.
No,
Be careful.
Close, but not that close.
Not that close.
That's a form of torture, actually. It's illegal.
It's not touching, it's just near there.
Okay.
And there is another one, it's the cross center. Especially when you're tired, you press that point all the tightness goes away.
I know in osteopathy, that's a spot that they'll work on too.
So basically, it's like, you know, when we have like 7 episodes for a day.
Xiao Jun will be
Pressing
permanently
this
stuck
point,
like
and,
this.
okay, this is the reboot point of the whole body, and including your brain.
Well, bring a hammer and
That is torture, Dr. Moses. But if acupuncture is the treatment lots of foreigners would accept as a treatment, as a Chinese medicine, Chinese medical treatment.
That's true. That's
Yet
true.
there are some ways lots of foreigners wouldn't actually accept, like gua sha.
Gosh, some foreigners would.
Yeah.
But it is a little scary, maybe.
Yet looks scary. And
Yeah.
what about cupping? Cupping is all right.
Yeah, that's a little scary too.
Welcome to this edition of Crossover. I'm Chi Xiaojun with David and Charlotte, and we're talking about Chinese medicine, liquid medicine, acupuncture, and
other forms of torture.
you put it as
Other forms of
tortures.
balance.
Balance, yes.
Well, we say other ways of treatment, Chinese
Yes.
treatment, but some are accepted by foreigners, like acupuncture, but some are not that well accepted, like gua sha treatment. There isn't actually a term in English
I think
like
that
gua sha
the
treatment.
common translation for that is scraping.
Scraping.
Is
Which
what-
is what it is.
Which and it
Scraping.
sounds a little funny, but it's scraping is
But
how they usually
Some
translate
pictures
it.
first. So basically, they're using something like a comb to
It's a
scrape
bone, a piece of bone, I
Yeah,
think.
it's a piece of bone.
certain areas of your body to cure some illness. But as you said, it looks scary.
Yeah.
Is the idea that it brings out a certain bad
Yes.
fluids or something?
Or
in
the
body?
bad chi, the
Qi,
bad energy.
There is a film actually talking about this cultural difference. It's just called gua sha or scraping treatment. It's basically a Chinese doctor or maybe just Chinese parents treating their child in this way to cure a cold. And it was, and the neighbors, they were surprised to see parents treating their child in this way as you're virtually torturing your child, and they called the police.
Well, you know,
And the parents were called, they were taken to the police.
Really?
Yeah, and they were detained for certain days. They had to explain the Chinese medical theory behind it, and we are not torturing, we are actually treating our child in the
Really?
Chinese way.
wow.
It was a film and talking about the cultural differences.
Wow, my sister has not such a great back, and as a teenager, she had some very minor scoliosis, and she had scraping treatments for that specifically, and it helped her a lot.
Huh,
It
really?
helped her a lot.
Well, I personally, I haven't tried this treatment myself, but I did try the cupping treatment.
Well, that's another popular one, and actually, cupping sometimes goes hand in hand with acupuncture treatments. You'll see them sort of take place at the same time. It's kind of interesting to watch, though.
Well, you mean cupping treatment?
Yeah.
Okay, let's watch.
They create a vacuum there,
Yeah.
which sucks the stuff out, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Look at all those.
Yep.
Well, it leaves interesting marks on your back.
Yeah.
And some would say, well, nice tattoo.
Yeah, or have you been?
Well, my students say, "What's wrong with those people? It looks like they've been attacked by an octopus.
Yeah,
it looks
it-
like tentacles have sucked the.
It does look funny.
That's something they're not willing to try because it just sounds so disgusting to have something suck your skin like that. But actually, it's
But
not
it's
that.
sucking all the illness.
Well, I've done it before. It doesn't hurt really.
No.
It doesn't hurt.
No.
It doesn't feel that bad. It looks like it might feel really uncomfortable. It really doesn't.
No, it doesn't hurt, and
Yeah.
it works well for a lot of things.
And you don't actually get to see it, so it's all right. Basically, it's just on your back. You know?
Right.
Don't we have that theory all over the world, really. The whole idea of like a sauna bath or sweating is that you're supposed to get these toxins that go through the pores of your skin. So I think it makes, the theory is not that strange, really.
Yeah, I mean, but these days I don't see that many people doing cupping treatment in other countries, especially except.
I've never seen it except in China.
Yeah,
Have you, Charlotte?
no, I haven't. Although I wouldn't know about Ayurvedic medicine in India. They might have a certain like practices. I'm not sure.
And talking about a related treatment, it's more scary actually. It's basically blood releasing. It's for certain points when the doctor says, I mean, there's some imbalance inside your body, and you have a little problem with something, and they would stick you with the needle.
But they take it out.
Yeah, but they take it out.
Okay.
And put a cup. That's cupping and the needling.
Oh, I get
sticking
it. So it's a way of actually sucking the blood out of the
blood
skin.
out, and they say if you look at the color of the blood,
Yeah, I was just.
it's all dark.
Yes, I was just going to say it sounds kind of medieval, like like
leeches,
leeching therapy and stuff like that, but it's not. And when you see someone who's having this kind of therapy done, the blood that is released that comes out is black.
Yeah.
It's not
Really?
So it's
fresh.
bad
it's
blood.
the bad blood. It's the tainted, toxin.
Wow,
blood.
I've never seen this.
Well, I tried myself, and it works a lot. And when the treatment is done, you feel kind of a relief inside your
And
body.
you don't bleed that much either. I mean, we're not talking about bloodletting or
No.
anything.
Anyway, I mean, we don't want to scare away our viewers from Chinese medicine, Chinese treatment.
I hope no one's having their lunch during this. Maybe watch the show and then have your lunch.
Okay, so let's just move on to some milder treatment.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Something like massage.
Now you're
Actually,
talking.
that's not always mild,
That's true. Sometimes that can be more painful than any of the ones we've just mentioned. That's true.
especially tui na,
Okay.
which literally tui is to push and na is to take. So it's a very specific medical massage. So not relaxing, massage.
So this is a little footage showing how Chinese doctors are giving the massage treatment. It helps a lot.
So again, this probably utilizes some of the notions of the meridians and the qi and everything, right? It's not just kind of massaging wherever it feels good or something,
No,
right?
exactly. This is very medically based. And I've actually, when I was in high school, I had a sudden sort of neck issue, and so I went to see a Chinese Tui Na doctor for a couple sessions, because one session won't necessarily fix you.
Right.
And this guy had people sit in a circle, kind of, in a room. Maybe 5 people would be sitting there, each with a different problem. And he'd go from person to person doing different Tui Na. He was a specialist. And it was amazing to watch him work. And it was not relaxing at all. It was
It's
quite painful.
You feel the pain.
Yeah, but with anyone who's ever done chiropractic, go to a chiropractor, go to
Same
an
idea.
osteopath, things like that. It's not necessarily a comfortable thing, but afterwards,
You feel the relief.
you feel great.
better. Yeah, that's true. That's been my experience too.
I mean, if you're talking about all these massage centers for relaxing, you can always go there. But if we're talking about massage as a treatment, sometimes you do feel the pain. And the other day I had a little back problem from sleeping, and I went to the hospital. And what they did, basically, the doctor used his elbow to press the point, a certain point. And if you feel the pain, okay, that's the right point. I just keep pressing very, very hard. I was out, something like that. It works a lot.
Yeah.
It works very well.
I sometimes like to have my daughter, who's only 13, walk on me, and my wife, because for me it's just like, I don't care what the theory is. I don't care. I just whatever. I mean, if you just do some random things to my back, it sort of feels good. But other Chinese people, they look at that and they say, "This is terrible. How can you do that? You might be doing all kinds of damage. You don't just. This is a science. This is an art. We can't just do
this
that."
is art.
They're right. I mean,
Yeah.
there are people that professionally know how to,
That's
walk
right.
on your
Regulate
back
your-
and
yeah.
do it in the right way.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Well, Chinese.
Maybe I should find some other young lady besides my daughter to do it, who knows what she's doing. Yeah.
You're talking about that, Dr. Moses. Anyway, we'll take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to introduce more Chinese ways of treatment, Chinese medical treatment. Welcome back to Crossover. Just now we talked about massage, we talked about gua sha and cupping. Next treatment, Chinese Qigong. What is Qigong? And literally we translate it into like breathing exercise, breathing treatment, but it's more than that.
Literally, it has to do with doing the work of the qi, of utilizing the force of the qi, and that's why martial arts and these things summons the qi that's in the body to do work, to do things.
And I would say in that sense, maybe it's quite similar to meditation or also yoga, that where you're working not just on physical work, but you're breathing and you're aligning your,
Right.
you're trying to connect your chakras and things like that.
And among all these Qigong practitioners, and there is one special guest, a prince, Prince Charles.
That's qigong. I thought he was doing the Macarena or something.
Tai Chi?
He looks really
No,
distressed
it's
there.
just Qigong practice. It's
Oh,
not Tai Chi.
wow.
Why was he doing
back
qigong in England?
He was visiting some soldiers' centers, and there they have this Qigong treatment for these soldiers.
Which means it's being practiced overseas, even in a British.
Not only in
health
England, but
treatment.
also
Yeah,
in
seriously.
France. According to a report, this is in June, and there are over 200,000 people practicing Chinese Tai Chi boxing, Tai Chi fist.
I have to say, I did quite seriously practice Tai Chi for about 9 months, quite a few years ago, but still, practiced every day, and I mean, obviously, I felt stronger and muscle tone and everything, but I've never in my life felt so healthy, internally healthy, and grounded.
Can feel it.
Yeah, as I did when I was really very religiously practicing Tai Chi. It was a subtle difference, but I just felt very grounded. And
Why did you
capable.
stop doing it then?
I got busy.
Yeah.
No, that's
to
just an
keep-
excuse.
Well, it is an excuse. It is. I really do want to start
Well,
again. but-
that's something that we can just mention. A lot of these things they're very old. They go back thousands of years, and these were people who were experimenting, trying to find ways of feeling healthier, and they've stumbled on a lot of methods and things that actually work, even though they may have not known why they were working. And the more we learn about the relationship between the mind and the body, and how things like breathing exercises, yoga, meditation, Tai Chi, all these things can do certain things, that they can actually have mental as well as physical benefits, because they're both related. That a lot of these things go back a long ways, and they've discovered things that they have their own explanations for, that only now medical science is saying, well, actually we have an explanation for that too, but they've just been doing it longer, because the Western tradition doesn't really have that.
Yeah.
So I can believe that that there's something about the actual motions of Tai Chi, that the way they've evolved, that actually do work.
Well, and it literally moves your chi. I mean, all
We're going
of
back to
these,
chi theory again.
Well, but all of these exercises, including yoga, exercises from other traditions and
Yes.
backgrounds.
Yeah.
The basic sort of what's going on is you're moving your chi. And then I know in Chinese medicine, if you have chi blockages, or even in yogic tradition as well, if you have a blockage of chi, that's when you start seeing health problems. That's
Yeah.
when you start getting health
I mean,
problems.
Qi is not something that we can see, we
No.
can touch. It's
No.
basically it's like the energy flow inside your body, and
Yep.
it's like electricity. You don't get to see it, but it's powerful. It's very important to the inside balance, internal balance of your body. But if you go back to the Tai Chi story, because in my university, and when I was in the university, lots of foreigners, lots of foreign students would go to these say, training courses of Tai Chi boxing, and mostly foreigners, because it's open to Chinese and foreign students. And one of the requirements, you had to get up very early in the morning. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
I don't think I have any chi early in the morning. My chi is
Without coffee?
It's gone early in the morning.
Okay, we've been talking about gua sha, cupping, or Tai Chi,
acupuncture,
Qigong, acupuncture. And all these treatment, mostly we would need some training or need some help from doctors, professional
Right.
doctors.
For
But
teachers.
when we come back after a short break, we're going to talk about these different types of home remedies. It's basically more about food and the eating habits, and these we can practice ourselves without any help from doctors. A short break. Welcome back to Crossover. Home remedies.
I love home remedies.
Some work very well, some might not be working properly, but these are the home remedies that we hear a lot from different people, and it's passing down from generation to generation.
It's just a perfect example of this is how many remedies have you heard of to get rid of hiccups? If you get the hiccups,
that's right. Yeah.
you know, hold your breath, eat a spoonful of sugar, have someone scare you,
Yeah.
drink a glass of
water,
drink water upside down,
down.
plug your ears and drink the water.
We've heard them
Why don't
all,
you
yeah.
just
I mean,
hold
the
your
list-
breath for a while and it
Hold
goes
your
away?
breath. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
But one disgusting treatment for that one is you burn your fingernails.
What?
And not the ones in your finger, I mean the cut one. Yeah, you burn it. You burn your
What?
fingernail and you smell the smoke.
And that'll get rid of your hiccups?
Well, according to that remedy.
All right, you know what? Next time,
I would
if
never try that one.
If I have long fingernails and I'm in a safe place, I'll try that and let you know.
No, but the secret is that by the time you cut your fingernails, find a bowl, find a match, burn it, your hiccups are gone anyway.
You're saying
You think,
burn it
"It
directly
worked."
for your finger. But anyway, all these home remedies, sometimes as I said, it works very well, sometimes it doesn't. So, do you have any ones to share with us?
I do actually. My sister gets car sick.
Okay.
This is a great one because you know there's lots of medicine on the market
Yeah.
for car sickness that's not so good for you. It makes you really drowsy and
Right,
everything.
Dramamine, yeah, right.
Chinese remedy, ginger. So we were in a taxi the other night, and I asked the taxi driver, you know, I know it's ginger, but how do you do it? Do you cut a piece of ginger and eat it, suck on it? Like, what do you do? He said, none of the above. You stick it on your belly button, just above your belly button, or below. And I said, what?
What?
Yeah, a slice of ginger. And he said, you literally stick it here.
That's where Dantian is. Right?
Yes, there's a I guess a chakra. There's a
Dantian
meridian
is supposed
point.
to be the center of all chi.
Yes. So yes, chakra. This
Wow.
chakra right here.
I've never heard of this.
Yes, and you won't get car sick.
You know, for the training courses to be a broadcaster, and we're always told to use our chi instead of just throat to
Right.
speak, to sing. And all the chi is supposedly coming from this spot.
Just below
the
your
dantian.
your belly button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're hosting this show, you have a piece of ginger in your belly button right now?
No,
No, that's
we're
for
talking
car
about where the chi
sickness.
is coming from.
Yeah.
The ginger is helping that chakra.
Yeah.
With car sickness.
Wow.
So, David,
So there's
Dr.
one.
Moses, do you have any remedies to share with us?
There's lots of, everyone knows in the United States when you get a cold that chicken soup.
Well, yes.
Chicken
that's
soup.
true.
Everyone knows that,
Yes.
chicken soup. And actually, I think there's some scientific
There is.
evidence that it does actually help. Ginger is big here. I mean, ginger is like a cure-all, but
It's good for you. Ginger's very
but
good.
of course,
for you.
anything that's warm, involves hot water, that involves steam, that involves things that open up your pores. These are not just home remedies that are superstitious or something.
No.
They really work. They make you
works.
feel better and actually.
What about this one, huh? If you have this snoring habit, and according to this remedy here, it's basically you use 5-10 pieces of huajiao, or the numb pepper,
Sichuan
Peppercorn.
peppercorns.
Sichuan peppercorn, just 5-10 pieces, and put them in hot water. And when the hot water is cold, drink the water, not the pepper though. It helps a lot.
To keep you from snoring.
Yep.
I think it would keep you from sleeping, or me. I mean,
But the Sichuan peppercorn though, it's numbing. It's not so much spicy.
how does numbing help?
We don't know, as you said. We might not
I have a
the
better solution.
reasonings.
You take the Sichuan hot peppercorns and you stick them in the other person's ears, and then the snorting there's no problem anymore.
That's good.
What do you think of my home? That's my home remedy.
I
right.
try Xiaojun's method before I try yours.
Okay, and if you want to quit drinking alcohol, use just one eel,
A live
eel?
a
eel,
live eel,
a fish.
Yeah.
and put it in liquor, Chinese liquor, for 2 days. And
It's already making me want to stop drinking.
drink this alcohol for 3 times a day. And when you are done this
You'll
therapy,
never want to drink alcohol.
Never.
That's
Again.
called, yes, this is a psychological
It's more about the ill. It's not about the
it-
treatment.
It's called aversion therapy.
Okay.
It's supposed to make you be so disgusted with the thing.
I have one more secret remedy over here. If you have your sleeping problem,
Oh,
it's before you go to bed, you use half basin of hot water and putting 1-2 drops of vinegar. Not to use them to wash your face. It's basically to put your feet in it.
to soak your
Oh,
feet.
To
yeah,
soak
yeah.
your feet.
Yeah.
For 20 minutes. At the same time, eat raw onion, 1 or 2 pieces. Then that helps a lot with your sleeping problem.
I don't know about the onion.
It's
but-
more about soaking your feet.
Yeah, no, a lot of people, like my mother again, she sometimes soaks her feet, you know, in the evening.
That's really good for you.
Yeah.
That's really good for you. You know, in the States anyway, and I'm sure probably in some European countries as well, for if you can't sleep, we say you should drink some hot milk.
Yeah.
Hot milk.
Because, and that's
Not
sort of
counting,
scientific.
not counting sheep.
Counting sheep. The calcium is supposed to help you.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
I
it's
know
the
there is
calcium.
proof that it does help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Hot milk
we
before.
heard a lot about this soaking your feet remedy, but here it says put some 1-2 drops of vinegar in it.
I don't. Yeah.
And onion. You eat some onion.
You know, like all of these remedies, there's a part of it that really works, and then there's another part that they add in, and no one knows whether that's important or not. I think the vinegar. I think you could put two drops of strawberry jam in it. It wouldn't make any difference.
Vinegar is quite powerful.
But 2
actually.
drops, I don't think it does anything. I think it's the hot water that you're soaking in. I mean, they have in the West, they have these salt thing, Epsom salts, or these different things. I think it's mainly the hot water, and it soothes your legs. Because a lot of
Yeah.
people
Helps
can't
with
sleep
the
because
weight.
their muscles are tight in their legs.
Because
right?
as you said, I mean, feet, according to Chinese medical theory, feet is basically the
everything is
pan
connected.
reflects your whole body.
Yeah, and that's why foot massage
Yeah.
actually is so popular here.
I love it.
And
I love
it's
it.
and you know it's not necessarily done by doctors.
No, it's usually done by these young girls from the countryside
boys.
who have hands.
Of steel
But they've received proper training. Yeah.
And
They could crush a bowling ball with their bare hands.
And
They
it's-
do this every day. For
yeah,
like,
it's fascinating when they do it because they'll be doing it and they'll get to a specific spot on your foot
Yeah.
that hurts.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'll say, "Ooh, that hurts," or they'll say, "That hurts, doesn't it?"
And
And,
then
then
they'll-
you'll say, "Oh, yeah," and they're like, "Well, that's your kidney spot."
right.
Basically, it's not like the direct pain that you feel.
No.
It's more like a numb
a
pain.
soreness,
Yeah,
almost.
soreness pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can sometimes feel it in different parts of your body when they rub it. You really can feel it in your inner organs.
You
And
feel
it-
warm over
Yeah.
here.
And if you do it, if you can do it with frequency, you will notice your health, your sort of state of health
So
improve.
it's like for the first part of this episode, we're scaring people away with this cupping, gua sha scraping treatment, and now we are
And
trying
eels
to
and alcohol.
attracting our viewers back to China again, to Chinese
Yes.
medicine.
You keep scraping, your body will look like this.
Okay.
Like this eventually. Yeah.
But now we're going to get you a little quiz.
Oh,
Well,
Okay.
this one is simple. Which of the following are the best foods for summertime?
watermelon.
Watermelon.
Watermelon is
peaches,
cooling.
Red peppers, mung beans. Mung beans are good.
Spinach.
Spinach.
Watermelon is the traditional one, but just because it has water, it feels good in the summertime.
Well, but according to Chinese, if you look at it from the Chinese medicine standpoint, it has cooling properties, and it's a good counterbalance to the heat of summer.
But according to some other doctors, there has to be a balance inside and outside. When
True.
it's hot outside, has to be hot inside too. At
Yeah.
least warm inside, not too cold.
True.
Interesting. Okay.
So maybe, well, definitely mung beans, because the 绿豆粥, you know, the mung bean soup,
They say
people
that
drink
that's-
in summertime.
Right.
So the question is, which of the following are the best foods? So it can be more than just one
I
item.
would say watermelon,
Watermelon.
mung beans.
I agree. Watermelon and mung beans.
Red,
Red peppers, no.
I doubt
I say no.
it. They're high in vitamin C.
But I would say everything but B. So it's A,
Peaches?
C, D, E. Hang on.
Let's look
I
at
think they
what
are.
are the answers.
I think they are. I think peaches add to your internal heat.
Just
no
one-
cheating, Charlotte.
You
She
have
has
your,
a book.
you
She
have
has a
your
book.
Bible, Chinese medical
Yeah,
Bible.
come on.
What does
I
it say?
do.
What is it?
Peaches, cooling thermal nature.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cooling,
So it should be good.
and it should be good.
So
It's
I
a
changed
trick
my
question.
mind.
It's a trick question. They all are good.
I changed my mind. It's A to E, so it's A, B, C, D, E.
All of them.
Let's just take a look at the final answer.
It's all of
You
them.
were right.
You were right. You were.
Wow!
You were right, Xiaojun.
Now
You
I'm
win.
about to be a
Bad.
Chinese now.
You win.
So it's watermelon, it's peaches, it's red peppers, and mung beans, and
And
spinach.
all good for you.
Good deal.
And
Let's
full of
have.
vitamins and minerals. I mean, all those things are very good
So
for
let's
your
go
health.
out to lunch now and order all these.
Sounds good.
Yeah, well, we may not understand it's red peppers. I mean, it should be supposed to be hot.
You would think so.
Well, 'cause they're
warming
red.
to-
Yeah.
Maybe they're just warming. Maybe they're not hot.